Around 90 million years ago, Antarctica was home to an extensive rainforest filled with exotic flora and fauna. However, everything changed when the Ice Age came and it became the tundra we know today, with an area of 13.7 million square kilometers, most of which are completely covered in ice and snow throughout the year. Anus. There are many secrets lurking beneath the surface. Melting ice in Antarctica has revealed amazing features like peculiar microorganisms and singing glaciers. These discoveries show us the surprising diversity and mystery of this region, although they also remind us of the importance of protecting and preserving this fragile ecosystem. Number 1, ALAN 84001, known as ALH 84001, is a fragment of a meteorite from Mars that was discovered in the Antarctic Allan Hills region. It was found on December 27, 1984, by a team of American meteorite hunters from the ANSMET project. This meteorite, weighing 1.93 kilograms, belongs to the Surgataton-Onlite Chazignite group and is believed to have formed approximately 4.09 billion years ago from Martian molten rock. Its Martian origin has been confirmed by chemical analysis, which revealed the presence of liquid water on the surface of Mars at that period. The discovery of ALH 84001 in Antarctica is due to terrain conditions that make it easier to detect objects that do not belong in the environment. The ANSMET project carries out annual expeditions to Antarctica, where they have found impressive rocks. It was Roberta Score, ANTA Meteorite Laboratory Manager, who discovered it in the remote western Allan Hills ice field in 2005. Research was carried out to study the origin of ALH 84001, and based on analysis, the meteorite appears to have broken off of Eos Chasma in the Valles Marineris Canyon due to the impact of a meteorite approximately 17 million years ago. Radiometric dating studies indicate that ALH 84001 arrived on Earth about 13,000 years ago. This meteorite has generated great interest due to the possible signs of biological life that have been suggested in it. In 1996, a group of experts claimed to have found evidence of Martian microorganisms in the meteorite, sparking intense debate. Although this theory was quickly rejected by the majority of the scientific community, it set a precedent for future advances in the field of astrobiology. Although the existence of Martian life in this meteorite has not been confirmed, its study has been fundamental in exploring the possibility of alien microorganisms on other celestial bodies. This reminds us that even if ALH 84001 did not contain fossilized bacteria, we should not rule out the possibility of extraterrestrial life hidden in the core of other meteorites. Number 2. The Weddell Line, known as the Weddell Hole, is an unusual phenomenon the size of Ireland that was discovered near the Antarctic ice in 1974. Surprisingly, this hole closed 2 years later, in 1976, after remaining closed for 40 years. Baffled scientists around the world. This hole reopened. The peculiar nature of this Antarctic hole has left experts perplexed as they have not yet been able to explain this strange phenomenon. Physicist Ken Moore of the University of Toronto describes this extraordinary hole located hundreds of kilometers from the edge of the ice, noting that it only became evident thanks to satellite images. He gives the impression that someone has drilled a hole in the Antarctic ice. In 2016, after being closed for 4 decades, the hole briefly opened and then disappeared again. At its peak, the hole covers approximately 31,000 square miles, making it twice the size of the Netherlands. Scientists are still not sure what causes this strange hole to open and close, but they hope to use it as an opportunity to learn more about climate change. According to the researchers, these polylines have the potential to influence the climate, and more of them are expected to appear as a result of global warming. The presence of these holes is both disturbing and exciting. Just imagine how these huge holes that appear on the surface of an entire continent, not to mention the large holes that open and close at will, can disturb the balance of our natural system. Number 3. Blood Falls in Antarctica. A red waterfall called Blood Falls has been discovered. Geologist Grefeld found it in 1911, and it was believed that the color was due to red algae. However, it was recently discovered that the water comes from a lake subglacial rich in iron and salt. The water is expelled under pressure and oxidizes on contact with oxygen, giving it the red color. This waterfall offers scientists the opportunity to study microbial life without having to drill into the ice. The lake entered millions of years ago and serves as a time capsule housing unique microbial species that have evolved under extreme conditions. Other similar lakes are believed to exist beneath the frozen surface of Antarctica. Number 4. A hidden world has been discovered 1,600 feet beneath the ice in Antarctica. Researchers found an underground ecosystem with small shrimp-like organisms beneath the Larsen ice shelf. Using a hot water hose, they dug down to a chamber hidden underground. Amphipods were found swimming around the chamber, which surprised the research team. This indicates the existence of an ecosystem process underway at extreme depth. It was also discovered that the underground cavern did not look like what was expected. Had predicted, with an irregular roof and a column of water divided into several layers. The eruption of the volcano at a great distance generated pressure waves that affected the underground chamber. This discovery demonstrates the interconnection of the different elements of our planet. Number 5. The Singing Glacier. Researchers found that the Rose ice shelf emits a song. Using seismic sensors, scientists discovered that the top layer of snow on the glacier constantly produces a seismic hum with a frequency of 5 Hz. The sound is described as the steady blow of a flute and varies in pitch due to events such as storms and the melting of surface snow. This ridge provides information about the surface movements of the ice shelf and helps assess its stability and fragility. Although not audible to humans, this song has become a valuable tool for monitoring the environment and its impact on the glacier, revealing the surprising way the ice structure communicates with us. We may soon discover a glacier that sings melodies that humans can also hear in this frozen and mystical world. Everything is possible. Today, the only inhabitants of this arid landscape are scientists working at research stations spread across the continent. Renowned geologists have long believed that ancient humans never settled in Antarctica because of its hostile climate. However, incredibly, in 2016, satellite images revealed a curious formation emerging from the ice, and some researchers believe it could be a man-made pyramid. Recently, there have been a number of reports about huge pyramids in Antarctica. They rise above the ice and look perfect, just like those in Egypt, but exceeding them in size. One of them has perfectly square bases that span 2 square kilometers in each direction. Is it possible, therefore, that our ancestors actually reached the Antarctic continent? Maybe they even settled there? A man-made pyramid beneath the Antarctic ice? If such an incredible notion is true, then we naturally ask ourselves some questions. How was such a massive structure built in Antarctica? When was it done and by whom? We have been informed by geologists that Antarctica has been under ice for many millions of years. However, there is evidence that it may have been ice-free, at least in certain areas, until perhaps 4000 BC. There are numerous stories from Polynesia about the so-called culture heroes who came to the Antarctic continent. A French academic named Argaud compiled all of these different stories in a book titled Out of Antarctica. The stories of the Polynesian people describe this strange land with white rocks emerging from the water, which are actually icebergs, and other creatures such as seals and penguins, which seems to describe an area we now know as Antarctica. The Polynesian people believed this was the place of their ancestors. And they said, "This is where we originally came from." Is it really possible that the coldest place on Earth was once warm enough for human habitation? Well, in 2017, German geologists collected core samples from deep within Antarctica's frozen seafloor to analyze what the continent's climate might have been like thousands of years ago. What they discovered was amazing. In the case of that expedition in early 2017, we used very special seabed drilling equipment that had never been used in Antarctica before. When we used this special drilling equipment, we encountered the sediments and instantly observed more than 60 different varieties of plants, resembling those one might find in a tropical rainforest, in a temperature regime similar to what we know today in northern Italy. And finding that on the Antarctic continent was very exciting, because the current climate conditions do not allow any vegetation to survive in those conditions. Therefore, based on that location and the environment we found, I believe that the Antarctic continent and the secrets that have yet to be discovered will reveal a lot to us about planet Earth. I appreciate you watching our video to the end. We would love for you to subscribe to our channel so you can continue enjoying our content in the future. Until next time.